Her youngest son had just lost his life.
My son was murdered.
That's crazy.
He was shot.
Ophelia appealed to her audience. She wanted everyone to get a good look at the young, innocent boy whose life had just been taken. It was a senseless act, and Ophelia was desperate as she did not know what exactly had happened. Ophelia was hoping that with millions of people watching it, someone is bound to know something about what happened, especially since most of her followers also lived in Alabama.
Somebody knows who did this to my child.
Randon drove out to a gas station in Pritchard, a suburban area of Mobile, to meet someone. Someone had gotten into his car, fired at him, and then left. Randon managed to drive to another gas station across the road where he collapsed.
These exotic boys, smoke exotic ops. You ain't heard about murder boys, we got exotic glocks. Tied to pull up real fast, with a lot of shots. Bitch, I'm feeling just like Mac, I got a lot of guap.
What down, Mula gang? Apparently this nigga Opps killed him at a gas station and the murder got solved by people on TikTok. Let me find out TikTok, y'all out here really solving murders, folks. Y'all raw as hell. Internet detectives and shit. Let's get into the video though. Skate.
I ain't never asked y'all for anything, but I need your help with this. There's almost 7 million people that follow me.
Damn, why is that?
Somebody's got to know something. My son was murdered.
Oh, but see, that sound weird already. His mama got 7 million followers on TikTok, and her son got killed.
Shot. And I want you to look at my son. Look at my son.
That's up.
You're putting all of your faith, hope, and trust into these people in the police department, and you have to just sit back and just hope and pray that they do what needs to be done.
Ophelia Nicholas is known as Mama Tot on TikTok. Her popular channel is nothing but positivity, peace, and life advice. But when her 18-year-old son, Randon, was unalived in June 2022, she used her channel to get all the attention she could. That way, she hoped someone would come forward with information, or at least Randon's killer could see the damage he had done. Before long, answers were found, and a suspect was arrested. Reuben Gully, in prison today because of Ophelia's TikTok, or Alabama law enforcement. And why did Randon lose his life that night? Is his death connected to a deeper problem in the United States? This is the full story of Randon Lee.
It don't look like he was on nothing to have no real ops. And her mama mysteriously is probably the most popular TikToker in her neighborhood or whatever. Like,
Ophelia Nichols.
Man.
In the last days of June 2022, Mama Tot posted a new video on her TikTok account. Mama Tot's 7 million fans expected another positive message, inspiring peace and love. But this time her video was shockingly different.
I ain't never asked y'all for anything, but I need your help with this. There's almost 7 million people that follow me. Somebody's got to know something.
On the evening of June 24th, law enforcement in Mobile, Alabama contacted Mama Tot, real name Ophelia Nichols, with tragic news. Her youngest son had just lost his life.
My son was murdered.
That's crazy.
He was shot. And I want you to look at my son. Look at my son.
Ophelia appealed to her audience. She wanted everyone to get a good look at the young, innocent boy whose life had just been taken. It was a senseless act, and Ophelia was desperate as she did not know what exactly had happened. Moreover, she was outraged at the thought that her son's killer was still out there, possibly putting other lives in danger.
They're out there, living and breathing. When my son is dead.
Mama Tot's TikTok was not only meant to emphasize the tragedy that she was going through. Ophelia was hoping that with millions of people watching it, someone is bound to know something about what happened, especially since most of her followers also lived in Alabama.
Somebody knows who did this to my child, and I'm asking for somebody's help. Anybody's, please. Please.
Well, look at you. You done made it a whole nother year, honey. It's 2024. And you might have fought with yourself a whole hell of a lot of times last year, but you're not gonna do that this year.
These are the kinds of videos Mama Tot posts.
See, that don't make sense though. Why would somebody be mad at her to kill her son?
Watch the podcast, okay?
She encouraged her followers to see the silver lining in difficult situations, to leave toxic environments, and to grow into mature, healthy, happy people. She also gushed over her family from time to time. One of her loved ones was her son, Randon Lee.
Right. Here's my youngest. Y'all, that's my baby child right there.
Randon was getting ready for his 19th birthday party on June 25th, 2022. Just one day before his birthday, though, his mother was visited by authorities with
Bro, is this getting weird?
On June 24th, Randon drove out to a gas station in Pritchard, a suburban area of Mobile, to meet someone. Someone had gotten into his car, fired at him, and then left. Randon managed to drive to another gas station across the road where he collapsed. Paramedics arrived at the scene. It was a minute too late. Randon had lost a lot of blood and could not be revived. Law enforcement assured Ophelia they would do whatever was in their power to catch the culprit and make sure he didn't walk the streets again.
What the
Like most people following true crime cases, Ophelia knew the wheels of justice move slowly.
Right.
She also knew that if she was unlucky enough, the detectives might never catch her son's.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes there's not enough DNA evidence or CCTV footage to track down another suspect.
Right.
Sometimes cases simply go cold.
No
so
cap.
Ophelia decided to put her large fan base to good use. After releasing her heartfelt TikTok, Ophelia gained attention throughout the United States. That's when Fox News contacted her for an interview. It was there that she explained why she wanted her followers to know what had happened.
People talk. People talk. So I wanted that video to be seen because if the person who did this to my son could see what he did to our family, he took my son from me.
Right.
It's my son. You're putting all of your faith, hope, and trust into these people in the police department. And
I'm not. I think I'm gonna tell y'all, Mako for president on the dead guys. If y'all vote me for president, I promise you, I will make a law that will say if somebody kill your son, best friend, girlfriend, you got the legal right to smoke that nigga ass, man. You don't gotta sit here and wait for the police and hope they catch him. So then what? I'm supposed to just have a friend or a son that's gone and he just still walking the streets and y'all stop looking for him because there's too many other cases for y'all to like, fuck you. That's my son, nigga. On the guys, boy, and until they change that law, nigga, you do something to somebody I love like that, nigga, God bless you. On phone now, because it's gonna get real nasty, real bad. I'm gonna sit my dumb ass in jail. It's a lot of shit I'm willing to. It's a lot of shit I'm willing to do and sit my ass in jail for. No cap.
I can just hope and pray that they do what needs to be done.
So Ophelia was hoping that one of her 7 million followers would have a relevant piece of information. Or at the very least, she was hoping the culprit would watch the video and feel an ounce of regret.
You see other people go through stuff like this.
They don't be caring.
And it never crosses your mind that would one day be you. To have an individual make the choice to take your child from you. He had a choice. They had a choice.
Yeah.
And they chose to take my son from me.
Within the first days of the investigation, Pritchard law enforcement discovered CCTV footage
from the
gas station where Randon's life was taken.
Watch the guy running around a gas pump and then jumping in a car. You can clearly see a gun in his hand.
Yeah.
This is the moment right after Lee was shot inside.
So he probably hopped out of this car and another car was on the other side, maybe.
Car at that Pritchard gas
Oh, maybe him right here. Maybe this is him in the car right here.
So the detectives knew they were looking for the guy in the red hoodie. They also had his black car caught on surveillance footage. In the unedited footage, which has not been released to the public, the culprit is seen arriving first and parking at a gas pump. 1 minute later, Randon arrives in a silver car and parks at the opposite gas pump.
Nah, that's weird, bro. That's weird. Because if the nigga is looking for you, at least he's following you. How does he know you about to pull up right here? So he's here first. waits for you. Maybe it was, I don't know.
It's when the man in the red hoodie jumps out of his car, gets into Randon's car, and pulls the trigger. Within seconds, he makes it back into his car, weapon in hand, and darts away. Randon is also seen driving away. Right. Sadly, he only makes it to the gas station across the road, where he crashes and passes away.
Pause. Listen, I have a mentorship called the Mula membership where I'm going to teach you how to get rich with business, YouTube, crypto, stocks, financial literacy, credit, every single way. Now, I became a millionaire by the time I was 23 years old. I'm going to teach you step by step for only $50. Click the first link in the description right now and get added to my group chat where I'm going to give you one-on-one help to make sure you get rich in 2024. Click it right now. Stop tweaking because we got very, very, very limited spots and I don't want you to miss this bag.
End of June, the Mobile County Sheriff had a press conference detailing all the authorities knew so far.
Black vehicle got inside the victim's vehicle. We know there was one shot. The suspect got out of the victim's vehicle with a handgun and got back in his black vehicle and took off.
There was another vital clue.
We do know at this time that Mr. Lee had made his way down to Wilmer and was selling narcotics to these two individuals.
Indeed, Randon had met up with the culprit and his associate to sell them weed. It's unknown how they came in contact with each other or
that's what I was saying. That's what I was thinking. Like, it sounded like a drug deal when he knew he was gonna get there, and he just did that, and it was on some setup shit, low key. I don't know.
To sell them weed. It's unknown how they came in contact with each other or how many times they had met in the past.
There was narcotics found in the vehicle whenever the crime scene unit processed the scene. At this time, we do have a couple of suspects in mind, but at this time we are not releasing any information on them.
As it goes with most pending investigations, the sheriff did not release the names of the suspects until they had one in custody. Right. It's a tricky time. You have to release as many clues as possible, just in case the public has relevant information. But you have to leave out whatever clues might actually impede arresting someone. During the Q&A phase, the sheriff revealed that this was not Randon's first time selling narcotics to people.
Randon was selling drugs. I didn't catch that. So they saying Randon was selling drugs?
Revealed that this was not Randon's first
time selling narcotics to people. See, one thing I always ask though is how do you have 7 million followers on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, anything, and you are not? You should be rich. You have 7 million customers. You can sell a $1 t-shirt to all of them and make $7 million. There's no reason why you shouldn't have a good amount of money coming in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Randon right here, I don't know if bro was just trying to give him some extra bread. I don't know, because selling weed ain't, he ain't trapping, he ain't moving bricks. You know what I'm saying? He ain't killing people and robbing people. It sounds like he was just selling weed on the side, like trying to get a little extra bread. But I wouldn't even think of that. Even he pulled up in a car that was messed up. I would think he has money if his mama got 7 million followers. I don't know if people just don't know or don't understand how to capitalize off that or something. I don't know.
First time selling narcotics to people.
We do know at this time that Mr. Lee did have a relationship as far as selling to different individuals. It just wasn't them two individuals. We do know on multiple towns that he was selling, and these two individuals has bought from him in the past.
So even though he was only 18, Randon had a pretty dangerous way of making quick cash. Unfortunately, he put his trust in dealing to two men who had no intention of paying that night. As this case was gaining nationwide traction due to Ophelia's big fan base, the sheriff was also asked if they were prioritizing this case over others. He assured the public they were not.
This homicide is not more important than any homicide we've had in the city of Pritchard or actually anywhere. I realize that Ms. Nichols has a TikTok following, which is great, and all those followers could help by calling in if they have any information. Any slight, minuscule, information that we get, it's good to follow up on. It may lead to nothing, however, it may lead to something, as well. We just ask, that, any information that you have that you think you might have, call in. You can talk to me, and they will relay that information.
Throughout the summer of 2022, authorities pieced together information
So when did that happen?
and Randon's family
July?
took to the internet, pleading for anyone with any relevant information to phone local law enforcement.
Right.
His family also went out to celebrate his 19th birthday in his absence.
That's crazy, though.
Kids and their cousins and his girlfriend and friends, they all went out to eat and celebrated his birthday with a birthday cake.
However, Ophelia confessed she couldn't do that, not so soon after losing Randon.
I can't, because I just really couldn't see, you know, happy birthday, Randon. So I just walked outside and I talked to the sky and I told my son, happy birthday.
But she made one thing clear. Until a suspect would be in custody, there would be no closure for Ophelia.
My family needs this. I can't move on. My children can't move on. His girlfriend can't move on unless we know that the person that took my son is not walking the streets. This person is in our town.
In August, there was a new conference held by Pritchard law enforcement. According to the chief, they had found their suspects, but were waiting for the evidence to be processed in order to file the charges against them.
We have done everything that the district attorney's office have asked us to do. And everything been turned over to the district attorney's office. Now the ball is in their court. And that's what I'm gonna say about that.
In mid-August, almost 2 months after Randon died, there was a breakthrough. A 20-year-old man turned himself in, confessing to taking Randon's life.
So
the mother of a teenager murdered in June speaks out after her son's suspected killer was arrested. 20-year-old Reuben Gully turned himself into Pritchard police.
Look like
late
that nigga. I ain't gonna
afternoon.
lie. That looked just like the nigga that was in the video, boy.
Reuben
I ain't gonna lie.
Gully turned himself into Pritchard police late yesterday afternoon. Mama Tot, whose real name is Ophelia Nichols, says she's grateful for the arrest, but now 2 families are in pain.
It's unclear whether Gully turned himself in because the mounting evidence against him was inevitable, or because the pressures of Mama Tot's TikTok were finally getting to him. Was there something on his conscience? Or did he realize there was nowhere to run, and turning himself in looked better to the judge than trying to flee the state and getting arrested?
It don't matter what the look better to the judge. I'm gonna tell you something right now. That do not matter in this case. Sir, no sirree, Bob. On Fodell, no boy, your ass is going down. Regardless of what you say, you going to prison. On phone now, nigga. So that I hope that one does.
Today, a judge ruled there is enough evidence to send the murder case surrounding the son of a TikTok influencer to trial.
Yes, during today's preliminary hearing, Judge Spiro Kirigadis said he is sick and tired of seeing drug-related homicides in Mobile.
WKRG also revealed that one of the crucial bits of evidence involved a phone call between Randon and Gully just minutes before Randon lost his life.
We learned today that Gully made a phone call to Lee 2 minutes before Lee was shot and killed. Details of the phone call weren't discussed today during the hearing. According to a Pritchard detective who testified at the hearing, he spoke to Lee's girlfriend and says Lee would buy drugs from Gully previously and was planning to buy that night of it.
Well, according to law enforcement, it was the other way around. To Mama Tot's shock and disbelief, Gully pleaded not guilty. This meant that the case would go to a grand jury. But then how does his defense attorney explain his decision to turn himself in?
Right. So I asked Gully's attorney why, and his attorney tells me that if you have charges against you, and you have 2 choices. 1, you can just go ahead and turn yourself in, or 2, you can go ahead and run away from justice. And his attorney tells me that someone who is not guilty is not going to run away from justice.
So, I ain't gonna lie. All this a play?
That might have been smart. What he probably did was went and got his a lawyer, and the lawyer told him, "All right, look, turn yourself in. We can get you. We can get you out. You know what I'm saying? We can do a little something. Just turn yourself in so you don't look guilty."
Decision Gully made with his attorney before turning himself in so as to look innocent? Or did he watch Mama Tot's TikTok video and make an impulsive, guilt-based decision? As it turns out, this was far from Gully's first run-in with the law. In fact, he had been arrested several times before and denied bond in 2 previous cases.
Yes, denied bond previously. 2 charges unrelated from this case. 1 charge that was possession of marijuana, and the other possession of a controlled substance.
You get denied bond for possession? God.
bond a third time as he awaits trial. Meanwhile, Randon's family is still trying to cope with the unimaginable hole left by the tragedy. Randon's father, Ronnie, who was incredibly close to him, spoke to Fox News.
But why? They not. What the? Why did he? Why would he do that?
All of them's got to be. They're all gonna be suffering from it. The whole. My side of the family is, and his side of the family, and everything. And
Ronnie highlighted the same things as the judge. Randon was not the first teenager to lose his life in a narcotics deal in Alabama.
Right.
Not by a long shot.
Right.
It's just, I'm tired of it. I'm tired of these kids killing each other out here.
Why do these guys have such easy access to firearms?
Oh my God. Let's not get into that stupid conversation. Because they give them to us. They made it legal. They put stores, gun stores. You ever heard of gun stores? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out why. Why? It just doesn't make no sense to me. You get what I'm saying? If your mama got 7 million followers on TikTok, that's a gateway to riches, millions of dollars. You can at least make $1 million off that. Start a brand, nigga. You can sell somebody else's brand, sponsorships, like all type of shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why, you know what I'm saying, he would even care, or even he had that messed up car, or why he would even care enough to go sell this little petty weed and get some petty money. I don't understand why the nigga would have shot him over the petty money. It just don't make sense, because he don't look like he was moving pounds. Unless I got something extremely confused right now, it don't seem like he was moving no 5-6 pounds or no shit like that. Not at no gas station. You feel me? Like, that don't make sense. Bro ain't hop out his car with no bag. They ain't say they found some pounds on the scene when he died. Like, you get what I'm saying? So that don't make no sense to me. But rest in peace to him on phone. It's just a lot of questions, gang.